Ladies and gentlemen, if I can get your attention, please. Well, it certainly sounds like you're all having a good time, and that's most important tonight. We're delighted to welcome you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to you all. My name is Scott Murray, and I'm delighted to be here to serve as your Master of Ceremonies this evening as we welcome you all to the University of North Texas at Dallas 15th Anniversary Gala. How about that? Isn't that something special? Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will celebrate a remarkable milestone. 15 years of growth, achievement, and service to our students, and for that matter, our great region, this incredible community that we all call home. And we plan to have some fun as we celebrate, as I'm sure you're already doing, and that's great. We're delighted to welcome you all. We're going to have some live music, a fantastic lineup of speakers will be up here at the podium. We're going to raise money for scholarships, and as a matter of fact, we're even going to have a raffle for 5 very cool prizes at the end of the evening. Students are going to be walking around selling the raffle tickets, so hold up your hand if you would like to purchase some, and they can come to your respective table. Now let's take you back in time, if I might. UNT Dallas was founded on a bold vision to expand access to higher education, empower students to achieve their goals, and strengthen communities all across North Texas. Think back, if you might. It's not all that long ago, but 15 years later now, that vision is alive and certainly thriving. So we thank you all for joining us this evening on this very special, very meaningful time. And thank you to all of our sponsors for making all of this possible. UNT Foundation, Amanda and G. Brent Ryan, Ryan LLC, I'll tell you what, in the interest of time, because we've got a list that goes from here to Lubbock, for Pete's sake, I'll read them all off, and we're going to give them all one well-deserved collective round of applause when they've all been heard from. TE Connectivity, Laura and Randy Wright, All Stars Projects, Communities Foundation of Texas, ECI Management Group, Matthews, Young Women's Preparatory Network, and also Madeline and Dr. Andrew Vander Eschenbach and family, Regina Rogers, Terry West, and you can find the complete list of many, many more great supporters, those that want to make a difference in the lives of those that need it most, and we're talking about our students at UNT. So let's put our hands together and thank all of them now for being here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd ask that you put your hands together one more time as I welcome to the stage Carlos Munguia, Chairman of the UNT System Board of Regents.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good evening, and it's on behalf of the University of North Texas System Board of Regents, it's my honor to welcome all of you to this special evening. It's to celebrate 15 years of UNT Dallas. Tonight's a celebration of progress, purpose, and possibility. 15 years ago, UNT Dallas was established to expand access to higher education as the first public university located within the city of Dallas. And that distinction matters. It reflects a commitment to meeting students where they are and building opportunity within the communities that we serve. Since that time, the university has grown into a powerful force for opportunity, opening doors for students, strengthening families across North Texas. What makes that progress meaningful is not only what has been built, but who it's been built for. The institution exists to create pathways for students who are working to transform their lives and the lives of those around them. It stands as a reflection of what can be achieved when a university is deeply connected to the community that it serves. The progress reflects the collective commitment of many people in this room, to our elected officials, and and I'm going to call them by their first names, Helen, Dan, and Royce. Thank you, thank you. Thank you to our community leaders, to our partners, to our donors. Can't forget our administration, to the faculty and the staff. All of you, thank you for your continued support and belief in this institution. Your partnership has helped shape a university that's not only growing, but making a measurable difference in the lives of those that it serves. And as to our students, and you're at the center of everything that we do, your ambition and determination to define the impact of this university and its future. This evening also represents an important moment of transition and anticipation for UNT Dallas. Tomorrow, we will mark the investiture of the university's president. Tonight, we gather as a community to celebrate the foundation that has been built and the momentum that continues to move this institution forward. The Board of Regents of the UNT system is proud to support UNT Dallas and remains confident in its continued growth and success. Thank you for being here, for your partnership, and for your belief in the UNT Dallas.
Thank you, Carlos. Really appreciate it. And thank you, certainly, Carlos, for all that you continue to do for UNT Dallas and the UNT system. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a welcome from our presenting sponsor, the UNT Foundation, represented tonight by Vice Chair Timothy Dwight.
Thank you, Scott. The UNT Foundation is proud to be a part of tonight's celebration. A celebration not only of the university's history, but of the students whose futures are made possible through philanthropy, partnership, and opportunity. We are deeply grateful to every sponsor, donor, alum, and friend in this room. Your generosity creates scholarships, opens doors, and transforms lives. Thank you all for investing in UNT Dallas.
Thank you, Timothy, very, very, very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on this evening for our invocation, I'd ask that you please join me in welcoming Reverend James Lees from South Bend, Indiana, where he serves as the Senior Advisor for Faculty Fellow Affairs and Partnerships at the Nanovic Institute at the University of, I think it's a place called Notre Dame, is that right? Yes. We're delighted to welcome you to the great state of Texas. Thank you for being here, Reverend.
Well, I was so impressed with the way he pronounced my name. It's Lees, but many think it is otherwise, you can imagine. And the irony being that I never have. It's a great joy to be with you to celebrate UNT Dallas. I'm delighted to join with you in celebrating 15 years of excellence in education, and honored to join with the von Eschenbachs. Warren and Rachel and I and their beloved children became friends in the days when Warren was at Notre Dame. I'm not entirely sure whether the invitation says more about his graciousness or his optimism, but I am grateful that he was generous enough to invite me to provide this invocation. Let's bow our heads and ask the Lord's blessing. Loving God, we give you thanks for the gift of this evening, for the community gathered here, for the hopes that have brought us together, and for the shared desire to support UNT Dallas. We are grateful for this young and growing institution, for the lives it is shaping, and for the promise it holds for students and families and faculty and staff and this wider community. We ask your blessing upon Warren and Rachel and their dear children, and upon all who lead and support this university. Bless also the generosity in this room, the friendships that sustain good work, and the joyful spirit of this gathering. May this evening be filled with gratitude, with delight in one another, and with a renewed commitment to the future of this fine institution. And may all that is shared tonight help open doors of opportunity for those who need them most. We ask this in God's holy name. Amen. Clapping wouldn't be awkward.
By the way, the dear Reverend will be appearing at the Comedy Corner this coming, before he returns to Notre Dame. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd ask that you please join me in welcoming Bella Voce, DeSoto High School's award-winning choir.
children to see a tomorrow. shoulder, rest your weary head. I'm your strength in weak times, feed you daily bread. Water when you thirst, shelter when it rains, beauty for your ashes. I will never stop praying. I'll pray without ceasing. You are not alone, your name on my tongue, I pray. I pray for the helpless to see hope beyond pain. I pray for God's mercy, even to those undeserving. Sister, I'm your keeper, and I'm yours to keep. Wish to set sail the ocean, I'll anchor deep. Use the fire within, burn what dimly shines. Stand up straight in your spine. No, I'll never stop praying. I'll pray without ceasing. You are not alone, your name on my tongue, I pray. By the power, with all my might, stronger together, fear be silent. By the power, with all my might, stronger together, fear be silent. Praying, I'll never stop praying. Praying, you are not alone. Together, hold on. 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 I pray. I pray.
Well, that was incredible. Wonderful performance. It's easy to see why they received a superior rating from UIL judges just a few weeks ago. Let's give it up one more time. We're going to take a little time out now for dinner, but I do want to remind you, please support UNT Dallas scholarships by purchasing raffle tickets during the course of the meal. Students are going to be walking around selling really your chance to win some amazing prizes like a Nick and Sam's gift certificate and a gift box as well. 2 lower level tickets to a Dallas Cowboys home game this upcoming season, and a signed jersey and a VIP experience at a UNT Dallas basketball game. Believe it or not, with former Maverick, current UNT Dallas coach. That's right, the good man himself, Mr. Josh Howard. So all that and much more coming up as we continue on with our program tonight. In the meantime, enjoy your dinner and the fellowship at your respective table, and we'll be back very, very shortly. Thanks again, everybody, for your generosity and for being here tonight.
15 years, University of North Texas at Dallas has been here, and it seems like only yesterday that we were working to establish this university. I'm really proud of what has happened here in those 15 years.
When I think about the history of UNT Dallas, I think about the journey as it relates to higher education. For you see, prior to going on the odyssey to create public higher education in the city of Dallas, there was no institution of higher education, more specifically in Southern Dallas.
UNT Dallas will be the platform that will allow so many first-generation students in our region to fulfill their lifelong dreams. And this will change not only them, but it will change their families.
We have students who have family responsibilities, who have full-time jobs, who are mid-career, who don't have the funds, whose parents don't want them 300 miles away. They deserve the same access to a public university that every other region of the state does, and we're adding more students and more high school graduates than any other area.
Education has to be accessible and affordable if we are in fact going to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to get a good education. And so it just made sense to have this university here, not only for students and young people who live in this area, but also older people who are returning to college.
Senator West and Representative Giddings were our marathon runners. They were there from the beginning with the community task force. They were there through every trial, and they deserve that gold medal. Then you had Dan Branch, our goalie, who stopped the attacks when we were bringing forward our law school, and there were a lot of pressure on Representative Branch. Kudos to him.
UNT Dallas is not only an undergrad program in South Dallas, it's also a professional and graduate program in the core of Dallas. It is an important element to job creation and fulfilling jobs and upskilling the workforce that drives this huge, rapidly growing metroplex that soon will surpass the Chicago area as the third largest metroplex in the country.
I hope these young people who have had an opportunity to get their education at UNT Dallas see the need to reach back and do whatever they can for the people who come behind them and whatever else they can do to help create a better world for everybody.
If we have a university that's responsive to the needs of the community, it'll continue to grow. And I want to make certain that we have leaders that partner with me. We need to have development around the university that complements the university. If we do that and we do it right, then the vision for the university will be realized. Not during my lifetime, but ultimately it will be realized.
If you plant your flag, if you have the land, if you build a magnificent campus, if you hire good faculty, if you get a good start, a public university is forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree with me that clearly these three leaders who have helped shape higher education and the future of this incredible institution have been instrumental in the UNT Dallas story. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me and join me in welcoming the Honorable Royce West, the Honorable Helen Giddings, and the Honorable Dan Branch.
Good evening. Hey, Carol, is my tie straight? Okay. You know, wow. The reality is that this is an evening that I have been looking forward to for a while now. 15 years. 15 years we've been doing this. And so I just want to say good evening to each and every one of you. Recognizing the UT Systems Chancellor, Mike Williams. Mike, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for being here, and other members of the System of Regents. UT Dallas's President, Warren von Eschenbach. Warren von Eschenbach. Let me say it one more time. Warren von Eschenbach. UT Dallas's cabinet, faculty, and students, and distinguished guests that we have here this evening. What a great day to be a trailblazer. I'm ecstatic, yet extremely humbled by the impact of the recognition of the 15th anniversary of the University of North Texas at Dallas. Who would have thought we would be here in the place at this particular time, celebrating a milestone? The answer to that question is, we did. We thought we would be here, and we're here. We're here. Now, listen to me very closely. I'd like everyone to stand up, look around, and give yourself a standing ovation. Y'all stand up, stand up. We did this together. We did this together. Judge, you can sit down now. But just think of how many more things that we can do if we continue to work together, regardless of political affiliation, gender, or ethnicity. If we work together, there's no telling how far we can go as a university system, as a city, county, state, and a country, working together. You know, I continue to tell the story of the vision of and subsequent prayer that birthed the University of North Texas at Dallas. I was sitting on an airplane, and just as we normally do, coming back from the Capitol, during one of the many battles concerning Dallas's first public university. You see, we didn't know which established university system we would collaborate with. Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and then the University of North Texas. You see, there were those back then that didn't want to see another public university because they said we already had enough. The fact of the matter is, we on the stage, as well as Jesse Jones, Representative Jesse Jones, said no, we need to have a public university in the city of Dallas. At that time, the 9th largest city in the country without a public university. So we continue to press for that. I bowed my head, clasped my fingers, and prayed a prayer that asked my God to allow me to be a part of his will and create a university for generations, my friends, for generations yet unborn. And guess what? The University of North Texas at Dallas is a manifestation of that prayer. Let me tell you a little known fact. In my office sits a container of dirt that represents the past, the present, and the future of this University of North Texas at Dallas. You see, I collected that dirt at the groundbreaking on September the 9th, 1999, where residents and community leaders came from all over to turn the soil that would ultimately give birth to Dallas's first state-supported public university. And my friends, I had that dirt right here in my hands tonight. This is dirt. Y'all don't get the wrong idea. It's dirt, okay? What y'all laughing about? You know, some 104 days after we turned dirt, that vision went from dirt to brick to mortar, desks, doors that opened the University of North Texas System Center in Dallas in its inaugural class. That was almost 27 years ago. Since that time, the System Center awarded degrees with the University of North Texas's name on them. That was until we grew into a freestanding, independent university housing students, staff, and a faculty majestically atop a hill in sunny southern Dallas. At its core sits the Ryan Tower, a beacon for those seeking wisdom, knowledge, success, yes, an opportunity to change their lives and that of thousands around them. And we've been doing that. A second, third, fourth, fifth building has sprung forth and stands on the campus. The first freshman class was welcomed in the fall of 2010. And after three attempts, we were able to get a public university, a public law school that's now been there for about 12 years. And that public law school, my friends, achieved full accreditation by the ABA. And Dean Epps is here. Thank you for your leadership. And that of President Mung that was here, as well as Royal Ferguson, to make that a reality. Let's give them a hand for a job well done. And as we sit here this evening, I want to let you know that our advocacy program at the law school, Moot Court Advocates, this year, they beat Harvard, Yale, New York University, and Oklahoma. Y'all stand up. Where are my students? Y'all stand up. Let's give them a hand. Job well done. That little old university, the University of North Texas at Dallas College of Law. All this could not have been realized without the dedication of so many who saw beyond themselves. Had so many not come together, we would not have been able to do what we're doing. Therefore, I pause to thank the members of the Southern Dallas County Task Feasibility Study, for there were those on that commission that gave of their time so we could make a presentation to the Higher Education Coordinating Board in order to get things moving. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank former President and Texas Governor George Bush, former state and local elected officials, Dr. Alfred Hurley, Dr. Virginia Wheelis, Charlotte Berry, and the three previous UNT presidents for cultivating this vision. Let's give them a hand for a job well done. You know, a special acknowledgement, though, of President and former state and local elected officials for the leadership that you have provided. And what we have decided as local elected officials, specifically in this geographical area, is to make certain that UNT Dallas and the development around it is not schizophrenic. That went right over your head. We want to make certain that it's not schizophrenic. We want to make certain that the Maiden brothers, y'all stand up, y'all back here, where are the Maiden brothers? Who are developers, get their development done. Mike Hogue, where's Mike Hogue? Well, he was here. We want to make certain he gets his development done. And that we control the type of development that goes on around that university, because it will set the tone. You know, Carol and I talk about this often, and I want you students to understand and appreciate this. Thus far, we've had close to right at 10,000 students graduate from the University of North Texas at Dallas. 10,000. I see rising from the soil that I just showed you a university that will boast some 30,000 students in the future. Can you imagine having a university, public university in the city of Dallas? Chancellor Williams, that has a college of pharmacy and optometry. I can imagine that. And a school of hospitality, or let's say hotel management. I can imagine that also. And the impact that would have on the ability of students to get a quality education. And the impact that it will have on economic development. For you see, when you begin to think about universities, school districts, and things like that, they tend to be some of the larger employers in this specific geographical area. And as we go forward, I'm hoping and I'm praying that whether I'm here or there's another state senator, which there ultimately will be, not anytime soon, all right? That they have the same vision that Representative Chairman Branch, Chairman Giddings, Davis, and all of us have as it relates to this university. It has the same team working together in order to make it a reality for the city of Dallas and the surrounding area. For you see persons like Lori Blair, Councilman Johnson, and I'm missing other councilmen, Zarin Gracie, and I'm missing some other council persons that are here, Jaime Resendez, who graduated from the University of North Texas at Dallas, okay? So they're stakeholders in making certain that we do what we set out to do in order to make certain that this is a university of the first class and that we provide opportunities for the future. So I say to you, it's a great day, my friends, to be a trailblazer. Thank you very much.
Good evening. The senator has established protocol. I want to thank Senator West for his vision and for inviting me to help bring it to life. And thank you, Dan Branch. You and I spent a lot of time working together, from your chairing higher education and my being the point person on appropriations, to you and I chairing the Dallas delegation, and to you actually having my back on the House floor. Dan sat right behind me. History matters, and sometimes it needs to be remembered out loud. I'm honored to stand here tonight as a co-founder of the University of North Texas at Dallas. You know, building a university is not easy. You have to convince people that it's not competition between universities and lawmakers' districts. It's a commitment to a better educated Texas. Today, we celebrate 15 years. But we didn't start 15 years ago. We actually started this back in 1997. Senator West and I passed a resolution to bring a public university to Southern Dallas. It passed the legislature. He had a little juice in the Senate. I had some in the House. And much to our surprise, it was vetoed by the governor. Now, we could have stopped there, but we didn't see a dead end. We saw a challenge, and we kept going. In 1999, Senator West authored, and I was the joint House sponsor of the bill that established the UNT Systems Center at Dallas. I was on appropriations, and I made certain that we secured $4.2 million. And that is the seed that grew into what we have today. Years later, when the dream of the College of Law was at risk during a historic budget crisis, at about 7:20 a.m. in the morning, Chancellor Lee Jackson and Vice President Jack Martin came rushing in to the appropriations room and said, "Representative Giddings, we think we can get funds from the Obama stimulus for the law school. You have to get that in the bill. Otherwise, the law school is dead in the water." Now, this appropriations meeting, Dan, as you know, had been called for only one reason: to vote the printed bill out. Everything was set. Somehow, Lee and Jack insisted that I could make this happen. I was the only person from Dallas on appropriations, and they said, "You just have to get this done." I thought, it's 7:30 in the morning. It's too early for people to be drinking. Procedurally, I can't get this done. And I don't know how we did it, but between Lee and Jack, we got it done. And that is how we funded the $5.2 million for the law school. Now, getting back to the four-year school, we all knew what was at stake: a community where too many students weren't going to college, not because they didn't have the ability, but because of distance and because of cost. So for me, affordability and accessibility, those aren't buzzwords. That's our moral compass. We wanted students to get a top-tier education without a lifetime of debt and with the power to shape their own future. And through it all, I think about Langston Hughes, who said, "Don't you turn back. Don't you sit down because you finds it kind of hard," because it was kind of hard. That is the spirit that built this university, and it must live on in every faculty, every staff member, and every student. The university started with a dream and a veto, and today it stands as a beacon of hope. And I am proud, deeply proud, to have helped build it. And we're not done yet. We will keep blazing those trails because the best chapters at UNT Dallas are being written today.
Well, good evening, and I will be very careful with my 2 minutes to... It's an honor to be up here with Senator West and Representative Giddings, and although we were in different parties, we liked each other, and we got along, and we worked together, and it was a pleasure to try and show that higher education could be an issue where you didn't need to have a partisan divide, and you could have a common goal and get things done. So congratulations to UNT Dallas for 15 years of impact, and it just goes to show that it's a place that proves big ideas don't have to wait for too long to make history and make a big difference here in our community. Let me add my thanks to those who helped bring this institution to life. Obviously, you know, the senator, the vision, the bold vision was his, and there was a lot of political obstacles. And between Helen and Royce, this thing wouldn't have happened without their leadership. And they had to be persistent. So. But I also want to say that there was another persistent junkyard dog that wouldn't let go. And Chancellor Lee Jackson, Michael, one of your predecessors. I actually remember running into him in the Love Field garage one time, and he was all forlorn, and he'd lost the bill at one point, and I was like, how could that happen? And anyway, he had legislative experience from his many years in the legislature, and so he was an able ally in this effort to make this happen. And I also want to mention President Mong, who's here, and his leadership in making this. Bob, it's great to see you. Certainly many thanks as well to and you're going to hear from some more folks on stage tonight, but many thanks as well to the system regents, Chairman Munguia, former Chairman Ryan, and so many others who are here that are here tonight. And I also want to say there's been no tougher, more stalwart steward in the recent chapter of UNT system than Chancellor Williams. Michael, we adore your leadership. I must say, Chairman and Chancellor, I'm impressed, quite impressed with your selection of institutional presidents. It's in my role as Chair of Higher Education, I had the good fortune to work with President Keller at UNT Denton, I guess we'll call it, and President Calhoun when he was in Tyler at UNT Medical School in Fort Worth, and now our fourth president, President von Eschenbach, who we worked together. I would say, he would say that he worked for Senator Zaffirini. Now, I know this is sort of inside baseball, but Senator Zaffirini is sort of, let me say that the matron, one of the matrons of the Texas Senate, one of Royce's colleagues, and she gets up at about 4:30 in the morning, and usually a staff person has to pick her up, and every day, let's just say that she's never missed a vote, and she's pretty tough and takes care of business. In fact, Warren worked for her, but she would say that we all work for her, even the lieutenant governor. So Warren and I worked together when he was running the committee for the Senate, the higher ed, and we had a lot of joint committees. In fact, Warren, I just got a text from her. Were you supposed to pick her up at Love Field? She may be waiting for you. But seriously, universities like UNT Dallas, they don't happen by accident. They are, as been mentioned, a result of bold leadership. I mean, bold with a capital B, persistence, and I would say a few well-timed bipartisan votes in the legislature. This is tricky stuff, and there's a lot of dead bodies around that didn't make it through, and this is an example of one that did, and that's why we're lucky to celebrate. In other words, exactly the kind of strategic risk-taking that we're here to celebrate. Of course, bold thinking and strategic risk-taking mean that not everything works perfectly the first time. In fact, if it did, as Royce mentioned, we'd probably be celebrating the 30th or 35th anniversary of UNT Dallas. But that's another story. Helen's writing a book. I may keep some of these stories for my book. In just 15 years, look at what that mindset has produced. A university that's working, that's growing, that's strengthening our workforce, expanding opportunity, and helping keep Texas exceptional. What makes UNT Dallas special is its ability to transform students, families, and entire communities. And as North Texas continues to grow, this university ensures that at its heart, Dallas advances with opportunity, talent, and purpose. And to our incoming president, Dr. von Eschenbach, you're stepping into a university on the rise with momentum, purpose, and a community that deeply believes in its mission. No pressure, Warren. But expectations are quite high, particularly the man sitting next to you, and they're very high, and we're all counting on you that we'll be cheering you on every step of the way. The exciting part in this is that UNT Dallas is just getting started, and the next chapter will be even bolder, I think even more impactful, and even more essential to the future of this region. Let me just say that the initial president, Warren, of another institution in town, one that might have given me Senator West and I a little bit of nudging back on a certain law school. At some point, we said, "Well, I think 1925. You have a little bit of a head start." Their first president, at perhaps their 15th anniversary, Robert S. Heyer, has this great quote about universities. He said, "A university never grows old. It is always young because it lives in the minds and hearts of its students." So congratulations to you, Mr. President, and to UNT Dallas on 15 incredible years, and here's to a very bright future.
Well, how about that for a trifecta, huh? Senator West, former Representative Giddings, and former Representative Branch, for your vision, for your perseverance, and certainly for your enduring company, and really your commitment to higher education in the great city of Dallas, Texas. So we thank you. Yeah, one more time. Let's give it up for all three of them. Now, before we move on with more speakers, quick reminder. Raffle tickets will close, I've just been told, in a matter of just a couple of minutes. So this is your final opportunity to participate. Students are still walking around here in the room, so just raise your hand and they'll come over to your table and work out whatever works best for you. So thank you for those of you that have taken part as we continue to raise money and move forward in a positive, productive way with great purpose in everything that we're doing here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now it is indeed my honor to introduce to you yet another leader who was critical to the creation and the growth of UNT Dallas, former chair of the UNT system and the UNT alumnus himself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up and put our hands together for G. Brent Ryan.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's a real pleasure for me to be here with you tonight and be among the many people who have helped grow and build UNT Dallas and whose efforts are reflected across the campus. I also want to recognize our elected officials and community partners here tonight. Your leadership in guiding the university's progress has been essential. As Scott mentioned, I'm a proud graduate of the University of North Texas and had the privilege of serving on the UNT System Board of Regents from 2009 to 2021. During that time, I was able to watch and participate in the growth of UNT Dallas from its earliest days when the university operated out of a warehouse, Royce, you remember that, in southern Dallas. Even then, though, it was clear that this was more than just about a campus. It was about expanding access and creating opportunities for students and families who had not always had that within reach. Over the years, I've worked alongside many of you legislators, university leaders, community partners to help secure the funding and the resources necessary to build the campus. These efforts are reflected in what we see today. And I'll tell you, each time I turn onto the University Hills Boulevard, I'm reminded of what can be accomplished when people stay committed to a shared vision. Progress like this does not happen on its own. It requires sustained investment of time, resources, and leadership. In May of 2018, President Bob Mong and Aaron Ragsdale asked me to discuss the future of UNT Dallas. They outlined plans for a signature tower, and they asked if I would consider being part of that effort. I was immediately enthralled by the opportunity. I was committed right there on the spot. And then, of course, I had to go home to my honey, Amanda, and explain to her what I had done. And if you know Amanda, you'll know I got in a little bit of trouble over that. But no, seriously, she thought it was a great idea, and together, we're proud of what that gift would represent. We're proud to be part of the UNT Dallas campus. And the tower that we supported was more than just a physical structure. I mean, it's a symbol of Trailblazer pride, a sense of place, identity, and connection for students. When we dedicated Ryan Tower in 2022, I said at the dedication, quote, "I hope students lean against the tower while studying between classes. I hope that families gather in front of it for graduation photos. I hope student leaders stand in its shadow and give speeches about the future. And I hope young couples stroll beneath it on first dates." I still hope for all of those things. I also hope it stands as a beacon for what is possible for all of Dallas when a community comes together to invest in opportunity where it has not existed before. Amanda, our daughters, and I are honored to have been associated with the Ryan Tower. And as we mark 15 years, it's worth recognizing how far UNT Dallas has come. It's also significant to recognize the opportunity ahead: continued growth, expanded programs, and an even greater impact on the city of Dallas and this region. This progress will require continued support, not only through financially, but through mentorship, through engagement with students as they prepare for their futures. You know, I had a chance at dinner to speak with the senator, and we were remarking at how significant the accomplishment has been so far. But it pales in comparison to the impact, Royce, of the 10,000 graduates of UNT Dallas and what their impact will be. This university is making a difference, and it will continue to do so because of the people who believe in it and the people who invest in it. Tonight is an opportunity to recognize that progress and to look ahead at what comes next. Tomorrow, student leaders will present this statue to President von Eschenbach during the investiture ceremony, after which it will hold a prominent, permanent place in the office of the president. It's my honor to unveil this statue and share these written words by President von Eschenbach. Quote, "The Ryan Tower statue is a symbol of the immense promise and enormous potential of higher education. Once referred to as a beacon of hope by Senator Royce West, the University of North Texas at Dallas embodies these ideals and inspires generations of students and residents alike. Funded by a $2 million gift from the former chair, Amanda and I, the Ryan Tower stands as a visible symbol of the university's impact on the city of Dallas and the wider region. The 180-foot structure, visible for miles, serves as a focal point of campus life and a source of pride for students, faculty, staff, and the surrounding community." So are you guys ready to see it? All right. Are you ready? Are you sure? Okay, here we go. Mr. President, I'll be very happy to come and visit you and see this tower statue in its home. So now it's my pleasure to introduce my good friend, Dr. Michael Williams, Chancellor of the UNT system. Chancellor.
Good evening. It is a privilege to be with you and an honor to serve as Chancellor of the University of North Texas System. Tonight we celebrate an important moment for UNT Dallas, one defined by growth, momentum, and purpose. This university is advancing with clarity of mission, strength of community, and leadership. Leadership that understands both its responsibility and its opportunity. Because leadership matters. Leadership must reflect not only experience, but alignment with the mission we serve. Dr. Warren von Eschenbach has demonstrated that alignment from the very beginning. He understands that student success requires more than access. It requires intentional design, meaningful support, and a clear pathway to opportunity. That's what we've talked about tonight, especially with these 10,000 students who have graduated already, as well as the students that are enrolled currently. That perspective that Warren celebrates is reflected in how he is now shaping the future of UNT Dallas. He's building an institution where students are prepared not just to graduate, but to lead, contribute, and to succeed. Succeed where academic rigor meets real-world experience and leadership is developed with purpose. Tomorrow, we will formally mark his investiture as president of the University of North Texas at Dallas. Tonight, we will recognize his leadership and the impact that's already underway. It is now my honor to introduce the president of the University of North Texas at Dallas, Dr. Warren von Eschenbach.
Thank you, Chancellor Williams. Good evening. Until 2010, Dallas was the largest city in America without a standalone four-year public university within its city limits. Today, our city is a growing hub of global commerce, a juggernaut of financial services, a healthcare leader. But for Dallas to leverage its growth sustainably, we need a strong foundation. UNT Dallas stands as that foundation. We are the anchor institution for this city. And tonight, in celebration of our 15th anniversary, we're asking you to join us in a $150,000 seed funding round, an investment in the intellectual capital that will drive Dallas for the next 50 years. Our three angel investors are here tonight. It is a verifiable fact that without Senator Royce West, former Representative Giddings, and former Representative Dan Branch, UNT Dallas and the UNT Dallas College of Law would not exist. You were pivotal in creating this institution. You saw a city in need of its first four-year public university, and you championed the legislation to make it real. You focused on expanding access in Southern Dallas, serving the underserved, and making first-generation student a title of immense pride. Senator West and Representative Branch, you are the key legislative architects behind our College of Law. Together, you pushed for a public accessible law school in the heart of downtown, overcoming every challenge, as you heard, to ensure that an affordable legal education was a Dallas reality. Their partnership is a masterclass in cooperation. The seeds that they sowed are changing the future for entire generations. They laid the tracks for a classroom to career highway, and tonight we are providing the fuel for our students to blaze the trail forward. At UNT Dallas, as we continue our mission of creating access, we recognize that talent is everywhere and that we also foster high achievement. Look at the high-performance portfolio of talent in our alumni ranks. Look at Nicole Everett, a mother of 6 who waited 17 years for her second chance at college. Nicole is partially deaf and once felt that medicine wasn't a place where she would fit. But at UNT Dallas, she found the small classes and accessibility she needed to thrive. Today, she is a summa cum laude biology graduate who, as an undergrad, conducted research in the mathematics of quantum mechanics and is now enrolled as a medical student at UNT Health to become a surgeon. She's a trailblazer for every parent dreaming of a career in healthcare. Look at Hannah Gadu Taylor Schlitz, born in a small village in Ethiopia and orphaned by tuberculosis. Hannah came to Texas with a mission. At just 16, she became the youngest graduate in the history of TWU. Now, at 18, she is graduating from UNT Dallas with her master's in public leadership and is on her journey to earn a PhD in sociology. She is dedicating her life to strengthening public health systems so that children born in the circumstances like hers have the chance to thrive. She is a prodigy of purpose, moving from our classrooms directly into the global fight for access to quality health care. Look at Stanislav Stan Borodyansky, a former competitive rock climber and successful entrepreneur who co-owned a chain of 8 climbing gyms. Stan returned to college as an undergraduate at UNT Dallas in his 30s to take his career to the next level. An immigrant from Kiev, Ukraine, who arrived in the US as a refugee in 1991, Stan brings a unique perspective on justice and sovereign rights to the legal field. Then, as a student at UNT Dallas College of Law, he excelled as a moot court champion and finished #1 in the daytime class of 2025 with a 4.03 GPA. After passing the Texas bar exam, Stan joined the litigation department at Carrington Coleman in Dallas, applying the same grit and problem-solving skills that once fueled his climbs to the classroom and beyond. Look at Miles Chung, one of the very first graduates of our new chemistry program. After facing a profound personal tragedy, Miles shifted his focus from the military to the lab, where he discovered a passion for environmental research. He spent his senior year investigating how superworms can break down plastic pollution, a project aimed at solving a global ecological epidemic. Now, he's beginning his career as a chemistry lab technician at Sherwin-Williams, proving that the path from our classrooms lead directly to the frontline careers in scientific innovation. This is the future of Dallas, the Dallas of 2050. Our UNT Dallas Master Plan is the blueprint for a destination campus, a roadmap for expanding our physical footprint to match our academic ambition. From a new residential life that fosters 24/7 learning environment to expanded research facilities that will house the next generation of scientific breakthroughs. Our 2050 vision ensures that UNT Dallas is the beating heart of Southern Dallas's economic future. Join us in building this vision. Our master plan is about more than bricks and mortar. It's about creating the physical space where a classroom to career journey becomes a reality for thousands more students. Our new state-of-the-art STEM building and our innovative legal programs ensure our students move seamlessly from our classrooms to a professional career. We are the only four-year public university in the city of Dallas, and we take that responsibility seriously. We are educating professionals who will stay in Dallas, buy homes in Dallas, and build their lives in Dallas. Every dollar you invest tonight stays in this ecosystem. It is the most direct way to ensure the future success of our city. In the world of business, seed funding is the initial capital to start a venture. It's the most critical investment because it proves the concept. Our concept is proven. In fact, UNT Dallas was just ranked #1 in the South for student outcomes in Washington Monthly's 2025 College Guide and Rankings. Our graduates are excelling in the field, our leadership is secure, and our master plan is ready. So tonight, I'm asking you to provide the $150,000 in seed funding necessary to propel our next cohort of high achievers. This funding goes directly to the scholarships and specialized programs that turn a student's potential into a professional's reality. Our angel investors and founders, Senator West, Representative Giddings, and Representative Branch gave this university life. Tonight, I'm asking you to give our trailblazers the resources they need to lead. Let's launch the next era of Dallas together. Let's blaze trails. Thank you very much.
I was honestly and truthfully lost, finding my identity in just basketball.
I'm actually the first one to go to college. It was a lot for me coming to a new city by myself, especially away from home, because I'm very family-oriented.
I started law school when I was 55 years old. I was working full-time. The option of quit working to go to law school was really not an option for me.
Here at UNT, while being able to come to school and pursue my legal training, I was still boxing competitively.
UNT Dallas has allowed me to brighten my horizon, brighten my mind, find myself beyond a basketball. My endeavors, but also my passions, pour back into the community. I'm also pouring back into myself too. United we stand, divided we fall, and unity is the way to go.
The opportunity to be able to work and then come to law school, which is very, so accessible right here downtown Dallas. My school is only about 5 miles from here, and so it's just very easy for me to get back and forth between my day job and law school in the evening. It made an impossibility become possible.
If it weren't for the scholarships, no, I wouldn't be here today. The scholarships have been impactful for me just because of me and my family not having to have that financial burden of also paying off student loans have helped me to get the financial support that I need to further along my career and focus on my studies more.
Scholarships have helped me be able to just focus on what I need to.
Unlike a championship belt that can be taken away from you, an education is something that can never be taken away from you.
I'm inspired to be a change maker because being the first generation, being a Hispanic, being that bigger sister, being that leader, being that mentor has made things more impactful in a way. I'm studying justice and social policy, which is my major with a minor in political science and psychology. But I want to go into criminal defense law and later on go into politics and run for office.
My purpose is to provide quality work and make law accessible for those who couldn't otherwise afford it. UNT Dallas College of Law is growing, and you need to be part of the growth.
It's really a wonderful place to come and reinvest in your career and just to follow the dream that's been in your heart for a long time.
UNT Dallas is here for you, and they provide a helping hand no matter what your past looks like, no matter what your journey looks like. UNT Dallas is the way.
I think we're going to have a couple of students come up here and say a little something. Oh, here they are. Are you Adrian? Adriana, come on up here. Let's give it up for Adriana Perez.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adriana Perez, a junior finance major at the University of North Texas at Dallas. I'm glad to be here today. My journey at UNT Dallas has been beyond anything I could have imagined. As a senior in high school, I felt overwhelmed navigating the transition to college while facing the uncertainty about whether I would receive financial aid. But as fate would have it, one day, my mother and I got lost on our way home and came across a university. What felt like being lost turned into something greater. I heard it call my name. I had found my second home, UNT Dallas. Yet, yet a new obstacle remained. How would I pay for college? I remember, through tears, opening up to my high school mentor about my financial struggles. The very next day, he came to me with information about the UNT Dallas Presidential Scholarship and said to me, I don't know how we're going to do it, but you're going to get it. With the support of prayer, my parents, and mentors, on July 15, 2023, I received the news I had been selected as a presidential scholar at UNT Dallas. That $66,000 scholarship gave me the opportunity to start my college education. But I knew it was only the beginning. I chose to major in finance because of the financial struggles my family faced. I remember thinking it was a luxury to eat pizza on a Friday. My father would have to stretch $5 to feed my family. Those moments shaped how I view money, not just as a resource, but as a source of stability, opportunity, and dignity. This lived experience later became the foundation for my research. During my first semester, I took 6 classes and was selected for the UNT Dallas Trailblazer Elite Program, which supports first-generation students transitioning to college. I was paired with my mentor, Berenice, and another mentee, Ashley. I remember discussing grades. She had a 4.0, and I realized I could do that too. That belief pushed me, and since my freshman year, I have maintained a 4.0 GPA. Supported by the Learning Commons. As I pursued my research on wealth gaps, drawing on my personal experience, I learned that research is about asking better questions, not having all the answers. My professor, Dr. Maidel, asked, "Who are you trying to save?" I realized I wanted to uplift those facing financial hardships like my family. With Dr. Levin's mentorship, my confidence and dedication have grown, even though my research isn't finished. Throughout it all, my parents have been my greatest motivation. They gave up their own college education in El Salvador so that I can pursue mine, leaving behind their legacy so that I can build my own. They taught me when I feel like I can't keep going, faith moves mountains, and I've learned that it truly does. I'm proud to be a first-generation college student at UNT Dallas. For a long time, I felt like an imposter. But here I am. I realize I'm not. I'm navigating unfamiliar systems with resilience and purpose, supported by my university. To our incoming president, Dr. Ward von Eschenbach, welcome to UNT Dallas. This university is more than a campus. It's a place where students turn challenges into purpose and opportunities into impact. I'm excited by the leadership you'll bring and the continued growth of students striving to build a better future for their families and communities. Because where you start does not define where you finish, and I stand here as proof of that. Thank you.
Great job. You see everyone like that? Standing up. That's a standing ovation, my friend. Are you all right? Awesome.
That, my friends, was very special. I said, "Do you realize that everybody's standing up? You know that's called a standing ovation." She said, "I know," and she broke into tears. So, Adriana, you got a lot of fans right here in this room. Make it happen, sweetheart. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Jamie, right? Jaime Resendez.
All right, guys, it's time for me to bring it home. I know I'm the only thing standing between y'all and bedtime. Teleprompter's not working for me. Bar's closed. No, I'm just kidding. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to join you tonight for the 15th anniversary gala of the University of North Texas at Dallas, and to celebrate what truly is 15 years of impact. UNT Dallas didn't just educate me. It changed the direction of my life. I grew up in Pleasant Grove, but I like to tell people that I'm from the rich part of Pleasant Grove. For those of you wondering why people are laughing, it's because there is no rich part of Pleasant Grove. I grew up in a challenging environment, like many across southern Dallas. I was raised by immigrant parents who worked incredibly hard to give our family a chance. College was always my goal, but the path to something like law school or public service wasn't clear. Like a lot of students, I was figuring it out as I went. After serving in the U.S. Army, including a deployment to Baghdad, Iraq, I came home with a completely different perspective.
I knew I wanted to do something meaningful, something that allowed me to serve others. I just didn't know what that looked like yet. That changed when I got to UNT Dallas. For the first time in my life, I was surrounded by people talking about graduate school, law school, careers that once felt out of reach. And when you're in an environment like that, something shifts. Your mindset expands. Your expectations rise. You start to see what's possible. UNT Dallas gave me more than an education. It gave me exposure, it gave me belief, and it gave me direction. Because of that, I went on to earn my law degree from the University of Texas School of Law, became an attorney, and found ways to serve my community. I was elected to the Dallas ISD Board of Trustees, representing the same neighborhoods where I grew up. And today I have the privilege of serving on the Dallas City Council, continuing that same mission of creating opportunity for families across Southeast Dallas. But this night isn't just about my story. It's about what this university is doing across our city. UNT Dallas is transforming lives. It's building a pipeline of leaders, people who come from our communities and go back to serve our communities, and that matters. Because when students from places like Pleasant Grove, Oak Cliff, and South Dallas earn degrees, they don't just change their own lives, they change the trajectory of their entire neighborhoods. Yep. And that's impact. That's what 15 years of UNT Dallas looks like. And what excites me most is what's next. The students coming through UNT Dallas today will be the next attorneys, educators, entrepreneurs, and public servants shaping Dallas for decades to come. And many of them will come from neighborhoods just like the one I grew up in. I'm standing here as proof. You don't have to have everything figured out. You have to be willing to put in the work, stay focused, and take advantage of the opportunity in front of you. Thank you to the faculty, the leadership, the supporters, and the students who make UNT Dallas what it is. This institution opened doors for me, and I know it will continue to open doors for generations to come. Thank you, and congratulations on 15 years of blazing the trail.
Thanks, Jaime, very, 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 very much. By the way, raffle ticket sales have closed. If you have any tickets to turn in, please hold them up in the air right now for students to come around and collect those. We have do we have them all the students? Okay, I just want to make sure everybody gets their tickets in. We've now seen, as you have heard throughout the evening tonight, heard the impact that the UNT Dallas has on our students and then the impact that they go on to make in the community. So tonight, we can give you an opportunity to invest directly in the next generation of UNT Dallas students. It's really something special. This is your chance to be a part of the whole team and give as best you can give. We're going to have what we call our paddle raise. I trust you have all been there before. I don't know if we want to bring the lights up a little so we can see the numbers on the paddle, but whoever's controlling the lights, that would be just great. And we're going to, as we get to the different denominations, we're going to simply ask you, yeah, that's great, super, super. Now I can see you all. I think you've all probably been a part of something like this before, but the paddles that you all have, you were given when you checked in, hold those up when you hear the denomination that you'd like to be a part of, and then we'd be more than happy to take your bid. Love to think that everybody in the room in some way, shape, or form tonight could ante up, but whatever works best for you and your family, so thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part of the team tonight. Let's start with $25,000. Start with the big bucks. Major scholarship support. Do we have anybody in the room here tonight that would like to give $25,000? Hold your paddle up. All the money goes to UNT Dallas and these incredible students that you've had an opportunity to meet tonight. $25,000, any place in the room? Okay, let's get down to $12,500. Cut that 25 in half. Do we see $12,500, any place? Any place? All right. How about 6,000? Do we see 6,000 any place in the room? Semester tuition assistance. That's what it's all about. 6,000? Thank you very much, ma'am. 362, $6,000. 361, 6,000. That's great. Thank you both very much. So 362 and 361, anybody want to join that team? You don't have a paddle, but you'd like to? Thank you. Thank you very, very, very much. Well, we just made $9,000. Anybody want to put it up over 10 grand and donate 6,000? Or that's actually, it's 18,000. I didn't go to UNT Dallas. I'm a little slow in math. See, if you don't go to the good schools, that's what happened, folks. All right, last call at 6,000. Now we get down to 3,000. Partial semester support, 106, $3,000. Thank you, sir, very much. 106, anybody? Anybody, 3,000? 104, 3,000. Thank you very much, ma'am. Kind of tough to see with these lights, but anybody else? 3,000? All right. How about 1,500? $1,500. 347, 1,500. 109, 109, 112, 112, $3,000. 355, 355. Anybody else? 300, 300. 113, 113. Anybody else? Last call, 1,500. 1,500, last call. All right. How about 500? 500, any place in the room. 137, 137, 360, 360, 116, 116, 116, 127, 127, 163, 163. Anybody else? Anybody else? All right. That was 500, right? All right. Anybody else? Your valet parking's going to cost that much. Who wants anybody else out there? Okay, well, we do whatever we can to try and make money for UNT Dallas. All right, how about let's get down to an even $100. $100. Do I see 100 any place in the room? 100. Okay, thank you very much. That's great. 170. 357. Looks like a couple of students saying thank you. $100. 218. 218. 218. 218. Anybody else, $100? Heck, I've had so much fun tonight, I'll give you $100. All right, $100, put my name in there. 120, here's 120. 120. 200 in the back, and even 200 is going to give $100. Anybody else? Oh, 172, thank you. That's great, thank you, ma'am, so very much. Anybody else? Last call, $100. This is our final amount. No paddle? Does that mean 500 or does that mean just, oh, okay. I didn't know if I'm, $100 a finger. I didn't know how that was working there. Okay. Oh, the thumb's 1,000, right? Okay. All right. Anybody else? Uh-oh. My mother's calling me. Just a moment. This is what makes it, gosh, talk about getting choked up. Our good friends Amanda and Brent Ryan, Brent was up here before, his wife Amanda, special people, giving people, difference maker people. They just looked at that and saw that we've already raised $36,500. We wanted to get to $100,000. Guess what the Ryans are going to do? They're going to give us the difference. Is that something or what? 2 words sum it up best. Thank you. But that's above and beyond, Brent. That is just phenomenal. You know, this isn't in my script, but I get a chance to do. I did 369 events last year, either speaking or emceeing. This is my 3rd event today. And when I see stuff like this go on, it just blows me away. This morning at 6:30, I was across Texas Motor Speedway. The NASCAR races are this weekend. So we had our annual golf tournament for the Children's Miracle Network and just all the things making the difference for those kids. And I see what you just did here for students. And it makes me think in this world, it's a different world than we all grew up in. And so I just came out recently with my 3rd book, and I don't want to take a lot of time here, but I was just so moved by what you did. And everybody that's talked up here tonight, as I sat there and thought to myself, I've got a son and a daughter, and you know, they're all grown families and what have you. But I thought, this is a different world than the one I grew up in. And when I've seen the students like that, not Angelina, was that Adriana? You know, I'm so moved by that. And then I see, you know, what you do here now, and people are not kind, courteous, and respectful anymore. And my keynote, as I give across the country, is creating champions of change through a culture of civility, because we've lost the ability to be kind, courteous, and respectful. And it's just, so I've just written my 3rd book. It's all poetry. It's called Rhyme Has Reason. But I took 125 words, kindness, courtesy, respect, honesty, integrity, and I put them all to 3-verse poems. But this is my Leadership America creed, and I think it sums up best what I've seen in here tonight. The kindness, the courtesy, just how everybody has been. So I hope when you leave here tonight, no matter where you came from or what you do or what your association is with this school, UNT Dallas is something that I'm never going to ever forget. And I'm going to be a walking billboard for who you are and what you're all about. Just because of the kindness, the courtesy, the respect that you all had for one another, and for these young students that you're making a difference in their lives and opening doors. I have the Scott Murray Scholarship Fund. Gave 7 kids scholarships this year to go to college. And I do it because of people like you. So I thought I'd share with you the poem, what I call my Leadership America creed, because it sums up what we are in this room, what we need to be: kind, courteous, and respectful. It goes like this. God. Do I have time to share this? Tell you what, I'm going to lose it here. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's move forward here with what I'm doing. I'm sorry. We're going to get to the raffle drawing. Let's do that. Okay. Okay. How we doing? All right. You guys have just been great here. All right, raffle drawing. This is the Lockhart Smokehouse gift box. You're going to put those, yep, stir it all up, and you pull out the... Adriana, you go ahead and give us a number. You go pull it out. You have to be here to win. Is that right? You have to be here to win? Yep. No, you don't? Well, a lot of people, I don't, there's some empty seats over here. I didn't know. All right, here's Drew. Who's Drew with a 312 area code? Give it to Adriana. All right. She's trying to say thank you, but she can't get past the tears. You get on this stage, you get teary-eyed. What can I say? Okay, the next item is NYLO. Nilo. What's Nilo? It's a what? Oh, it's a hotel? I don't get out much. What can I say? May and Greg Contrip, C-O-N-T-O. Here's your phone number, 214. I just can't read this, man. This is 214-906-7861. Whose phone number is that? We'll find them? Okay. You won't be finding them with this writing here. They might be generous people, but we have some handwriting. They got to get back to UNT Dallas. All right. This is for Nick and Sam's gift box. Mara Vaughn. Is that you, Mara? Well, thank you. Have fun. Great restaurant. Okay. Next up is Josh Howard, jersey and a VIP home game experience. And we all know who Josh is. Whose first name is Hayden here? Any Haydens? Is that you? Congratulations, Hayden. Good stuff. And the last one we've got, let's see, season 26, 2026 Dallas Cowboys tickets. These are to go to the Super Bowl, and the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl this year. Well, it's a good thought, You realize it's been 30 years? None of these students were even born. Okay. Steve Moore, where might you be? And you're having lunch with Dak Prescott tomorrow to tell him how to get to the Super Bowl, right? Congratulations. Is that it? Is that it on the, okay? All right, congratulations to all of our winners. So, how about a nice round of applause for these two outstanding young students? Oh, really? Oh. Derek Lively, a jersey? Okay, and the Mavericks sent that? Okay. We got, and the winner is Unique Stewart. Is that really your name, Unique? Ma'am? Is your name really Unique? Well, very good. Congratulations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we celebrated 15 years of impact, of progress, and for that matter, of possibility. And because of your presence here tonight and your ongoing support of UNT Dallas, the future is brighter than ever. I don't think there's any question about that. So we certainly thank you for letting us all be a part of it, and certainly thank me for letting me be a part of Dallas history tonight. Congratulations to 15 years, and all the best wishes for 15 more, and 30, and 45, and 60, and it goes on like that. I started to tell you that this poem that I had, and I think it sums up really what we've become. So, I got it back together, my apologies, but I just hope that we all can be kind, courteous, and respectful to one another. And I'm doing these things all the time, but just the environment that I felt in this room tonight was really special. Whether you're male, female, young, old, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, I don't care. There was just a come together for a common goal to make a difference in the lives of those that need a helping hand, and that's our young people, the ones that are going to be calling the shots when we're all old and gray. So the poem that I'm talking about is just something that I've just it's something that I think hopefully sums it up, but I call it my Leadership America creed. It goes like this. It says, living life is not just about me. A purposeful life is all about we. Sharing together all that we see, even though we might not always agree. Respectful and kind is forever key. Truthful and transparent is what we should be. Eradicating the anger and the hateful debris. Live not in a world where we need referees. So let us move forward in a place we foresee, diverse and inclusive for both he and she. Matters not religion nor race, faith is for thee. We must live in a world that's our home of the free. And that's what it's all about. And that's what we need to get back to every single day. And that's what I think schools and universities like UNT Dallas are doing. So I salute you all for making a difference in the lives of those that need it most, our young people that need a helping hand, that need to move forward so they can decide on what they're going to do as they move forward with their life. That said and done, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your special night tonight. And I'm going to turn it back to the president as we wrap things up. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amanda, Brent, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of our students, faculty, thank you for your generosity. Thank you, legendary sportscaster Scott Murray, for donating your time and talent to be our host. Thank you to the Patrick Brink Jazz Quartet for providing music tonight, to the Bella Voce Choir High School for their beautiful performance. I especially want to thank the team at UNT Dallas, especially Angie, Amanda, and Scarlett. Yeah. And the team at Allen, especially Deborah and Aaron, for planning this event and making it so successful. Thank you for everyone who's traveled here to be here tonight with us and celebrate. It's remarkable to see the support this university has from all over Dallas and all over the country. And finally, thank you to the UNT Foundation, Amanda and G. Brent Ryan, Ryan LLC, all of our donors and each of you for believing in our students, our mission, and our community. Thank you for being generous with your time and your dollars. I'm proud to say that tonight's gala, between the sponsors, the ticket sales, the paddle raises, and the raffle, we've raised $291,000 for scholarships at UNT Dallas. And Chancellor, I know I don't get installed till tomorrow, but I'm going to exercise some executive prerogative here because I would like to announce now that these dollars will be evenly split into 3 permanent scholarships named in the honor of our founders: the Royce West Scholarship, the Helen Giddings Scholarship, and the Dan Branch Scholarship. So their legacy of being trailblazers will be passed on to new students and future leaders every year. Thank you all again, and have a wonderful evening.